Today, I want to share something very real, something that took me a while to understand: career red flags. You know those subtle signs at work that something isn't quite right? We all want good jobs, but sometimes we miss the warning signs that things aren't going to end well. And trust me, I have learned most of this the hard way through stress, burnout, and sleepless nights where I questioned every choice I'd made. If you're starting out in your career, or even if you have been working for years, I hope this video helps you spot the red flags early. When you are always available but never truly valued. There was a time when I thought being available all the time meant I was doing something right. Emails at 11 p.m., I answered. Weekends, always on standby. I thought it made me a star employee. Here's the thing: being available doesn't always mean you are valued. It often just means you are convenient. Looking back, I realized my efforts weren't appreciated, just expected. My boundaries got blurry. I wasn't respected more, I was simply relied on more. And the worst part, when I needed a break or made a small mistake, the appreciation vanished. Now I believe this: a healthy workspace respects your time. You can be dedicated without being always on. If you are giving 110% and still feel replaceable, that's a red flag. Your job should challenge you, not consume you. When we are a family means zero boundaries. I have worked at places where they said we are like a family here. At first, it felt warm. I thought, wow, this must be a close-knit team. But soon I noticed something strange. Personal time was ignored. Taking a break felt like betrayal. Feedback turned into guilt trips. And leaving on time, that was seen as not being a team player. Turns out, we are a family can sometimes be code for we don't believe in boundaries. It's one thing to have friendly relationships at work, but when emotional manipulation hides behind fake closeness, it's not a healthy space. If the family line is used to make you overwork or overlook issues, it's time to pause and reflect. When promotions are promised but never delivered. This one stung. I once stayed in a job way longer than I should have just because I kept hearing, "You are next in line for a promotion." Month after month, I worked harder, took on more responsibility, trained new people, waited patiently. The promotion never came. When I finally asked directly, I got vague answers. Not the right time. Maybe next quarter. We are restructuring. That's when I realized if growth is always dangled like a carrot but never delivered, it's not about timing. It's about control. A good company will show you a clear path to growth, not just make empty promises. If your skills are being used but your value isn't being recognized, that's a red flag. When turnover is a constant. I joined a company once where people were leaving every month. At first, I thought maybe they just found better opportunities. But then I noticed no one was happy, and the ones who stayed looked tired, checked out, or scared to speak up. The biggest red flag? Exit after exit. But no one in leadership seemed to care. No questions asked, no changes made. Just business as usual. When people keep leaving and the company doesn't try to understand why, it's not just bad luck, it's a bad culture. A revolving door at work is more than a pattern. It's a sign that something deeper is broken. Maybe it's bad management, maybe it's lack of support, maybe it's both. Now, whenever I notice high turnover, I don't ignore it, because if people are constantly running away, there's usually a reason. When you are afraid to speak up. There was a point where I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I had ideas but held them back. I noticed problems but didn't report them. Why? Because every time someone spoke up, they were either ignored, blamed, or quietly pushed out. That fear is a red flag. Workplaces should feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. You should be able to share feedback without fear of retaliation. You should be able to say, "This isn't working," without being labeled difficult. I now believe that silence isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. If people can't raise issues, problems grow and morale shrinks. You deserve a job where you're heard, not just seen. When everything is urgent all the time. I used to work in a place where every task was labeled urgent. Every email was high priority. Every meeting was last minute. It felt chaotic. I couldn't plan my day, let alone my week. I was always in reactive mode. And guess what? Most of those urgent things weren't actually emergencies. That's when I realized if everything's urgent, nothing's important. This kind of environment burns you out fast. There's no strategy, just constant stress. Good leaders set clear priorities. They help you focus, not panic. If your workplace thrives on last-minute pressure, poor planning, and adrenaline, it's not a sign of productivity. It's a red flag. Now I've learned to ask, do they value urgency or do they value efficiency? That one question says a lot. When you don't recognize yourself anymore. This one's personal. I remember looking in the mirror one morning before work and not recognizing myself. I looked tired, sad, just off. I wasn't sleeping well. I snapped at people I loved. I didn't feel excited about anything anymore, not even things I used to enjoy. That's when it hit me. This job wasn't just hard, it was changing me. Sometimes the biggest red flag isn't external. It's how your work makes you feel about yourself. If your job is making you dull, bitter, or anxious all the time, that's not growth, that's erosion. Work will always have tough days, but it shouldn't make you feel like a stranger in your own skin. If it does, it's time to take a step back and ask, is it worth it? When they say, you should be grateful. One of the most toxic things I have heard in a workplace is, you should be grateful to have this job. First, it made me second guess myself. Maybe I was asking for too much. Maybe I wasn't being humble. But then I realized, gratitude and exploitation are not the same. You can be grateful and still want fair treatment. You can be thankful and still set boundaries. A good job makes you feel valued, not indebted. If your employer uses gratitude to guilt trip you into silence or overwork, that's manipulation. No one should feel like they owe their job every part of themselves. A healthy workplace will respect your contributions and give you space to grow, not because you feel like you are lucky to be even there. Remember, you deserve a career, not a cage. So what can you actually do when you start noticing these red flags? Here are a few tips that helped me. Trust your gut. If something feels off, don't brush it aside. Your intuition is often right. Document everything. Keep a record of incidents, conversations, or patterns that worry you. It helps if you need to talk to HR or consider leaving. Set boundaries. Politely but firmly protect your time and mental health. Saying no is okay. Talk to someone you trust. Whether a friend, mentor, or even a career coach, sharing your concerns can bring clarity and support. Explore other opportunities. Don't wait until you're unhappy for too long. Update your resume and quietly look around. Know your worth. Remind yourself that you deserve respect and growth. Don't settle for less. Taking these steps early can save you from bigger headaches down the road. Here's the silver lining. Every red flag is also a chance to learn. They make us stronger and more prepared for better opportunities. Your career journey isn't just about titles or paychecks. It's about finding a place where you can bring your best self day after day. Keep your eyes open, trust yourself, and remember, you are in charge of your own path. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep growing.